Is anger a choice? This is a tough question, and a lot of people seem to think that anger looks a lot like this. You have a get angry button on the left and a hold it together button on the right. Except it isn't really that simple. This theory posits that the person made the conscious decision to press the get angry button, but I don't think that's how it works. I mean, for starters, if you took a random group of 200 people and put them in the same angering situation, not all of them would get angry. But what about the ones that do get angry? Well, if they were given the conscious option to get angry or not, with time to consider the social, legal, or employment-related ramifications, I suspect nearly none of them would. So then why do so many people get angry? Well, maybe having an irritable parental figure teaches you to respond to situations with anger, a sort of cumulative effect where the child witnesses the same angry reactions over and over again, leading to a learned response. Maybe this is why there are so many self-help books and classes on anger management. Except, I don't think that this analogy paints the whole picture. There are so many more factors that lead to someone having anger issues. Here, we see the risk of having different disorders in people who were exposed to trauma, when compared to people who were not exposed to trauma. On first glance, it's obvious that there's a massive effect that trauma has on the risk of developing a disorder. But what about anger? On this graph, that's characterized by conduct disorders. And if we take a closer look at conduct disorders, we see that complex trauma puts you at a nearly 3 times risk of having a conduct disorder. That means that nearly 30% of all participants who experience complex trauma also had a conduct disorder problem. This matches our experiences. We all know someone who had a terrible home life who also acted out in school. Well, according to this 2021 study, those same people actually had a reduction in their brain matter due to their experienced trauma. But this doesn't explain why they're angry, or does it? Here, we're looking at how a reduction in brain matter affects your aggression score. The authors concluded that there was a significant correlation between a reduction in brain matter and your composite aggression score. Okay, so now I understand. It's a mixture of parenting and trauma that leads to anger. Well, not quite. What about the stuff you're born with? What role do your genetics play in your anger? Consider this 2018 study that found that additive genetic influences accounted for 34.4% of the variance in irritability between subjects. This means that approximately 1/3 of the difference between people who were irritable and those who were not was because of their genetics, something that is completely out of your control. The truth is, anger susceptibility is a mixture of all of these factors. When we put all of this information together, it's apparent that someone's level of irritability isn't entirely something that they can control. Most of us only have a few of the factors that make us more likely to have problems with anger. We overcome our disadvantages by working at them, but what about the people who have a large number of irritability factors? The cards of life are stacked against them. Much like other mental health problems, it's easier to believe that the actions of the sick are due to a lack of self-control or improper usage of their available resources. It helps you to not muddy the waters of who and what is to blame for their actions. I hope this video helped you to see that not everyone was given a fair start to the race that we call life. As a microscopic creator on YouTube, your interactions with me mean more to me than nearly every other creator on this platform. If you enjoyed learning with me, please consider subscribing for more of my content. If you enjoyed the video or have a question, consider liking and commenting for the YouTube algorithm. As always, all scientific articles used during the making of this will be linked in the description. Thanks for watching.